Today I'm going to share 3 composition tips to filming a budget Western flick. Recently I was asked to shoot a live event with a group of Wild West reenactors. This led to getting an opportunity with One Eyed Horse Production to shoot a full feature Western movie. So for the past couple months I've been researching Western cinematography and specifically examples of composition and shots that I can use on my Sony FX3. What I ended up doing was just re-watching some of my favorite Western films, and then as I started noticing patterns or shots that I really liked, then I would record those shots, and I started compiling a list of everything I recorded, counting how many times I would see a particular shot and just finding patterns. So first, the most iconic example is the doorway shot. This comes from, in my opinion, the greatest Western of all time, The Searchers.
I like The Searchers better.
Yeah, who doesn't?
The Searchers opens with arguably one of the most iconic shots in film history, using the door to frame the character. We see the same shot throughout the film, but in the final scene, it takes us back to where it all started, the doorway. John Wayne approaches the entrance of a home as his family and friends funnel inside. Nearly silhouetted, he stands in the doorway, reluctant to enter. Rather than joining everyone inside, he turns away and walks alone into the barren desert. You see, after the events of this movie, he doesn't belong inside. The doorway serves as a visual representation of the threshold between civilization on the inside and the lawless, godless land that we see on the outside in the landscape. Whether it's coming in from the Western frontiers or whether it's going out on an expedition, we always come back to this shot. Sometimes we see this doorway in a church, which adds to the symbolism. Let's look at an example from Paul Thomas Anderson's There Will Be Blood. In this scene, Daniel Day-Lewis approaches the doorway of the church of his son. He stands in the doorway as a boundary between 2 worlds, never entering, staying on his side of the threshold. Of course, his side being the plains of Little Boston that he's rapidly extorting. Often we can see shapes in shot compositions. In Westerns, it always seems to be square. We see this best in the barn door shot. There are countless examples. In fact, it's the most reoccurring shot I've found. It's in every Western and is an absolute must. My second tip is one that really surprised me. You see, I hate GoPros. I don't really like wide shots altogether, but I especially hate the distorted fishbowl look of a GoPro. Fisheye lenses have distinct distortion. They exaggerate facial features and have an unnatural persona. So I was stunned when I found so many examples where these Westerns had fisheye shots. And some of them really looked like a GoPro. Take a look at this example from one of my favorite TV shows, Western TV shows, Hell on Wheels. It's an action shot where our hero is being chased. Not only is this a fisheye, but this actually looks like it was shot from a GoPro. And now we're back in this action scene and it just flows seamlessly. Let's look at another example that's not an action scene. These guys are just boarding the train and then we cut to the fisheye. Again, the transition from going outside to inside. We get a quick fisheye view. Now we're inside and there's no more fisheye. It's in a lot of Westerns. And it's an easy thing to overlook because the shots are so quick and well placed. Again, the trick is to only use about 3 or 4 seconds to time, and time it in between action shots A and B. My third tip is definitely not limited to Westerns, and that's the hero shot. We all know the hero shot, and there are tons of videos about it, but most of them are the classic Michael Bay parallax hero shot. This is not that shot. No, this hero shot can slam a revolving door. It sets ants on fire with a magnifying glass at night. You should know exactly who I'm talking about. It's none other than the greatest martial artist of all time, Chuck Norris. There's so many examples in Westerns that have this slow push-in where the hero looks slightly to their right. It's such a great and easy shot to replicate. Now, I do love the Michael Bay parallax shot, but with Westerns, it's different. Our hero is more vulnerable. It's not looking up as much as it is in Michael Bay's. It doesn't have the slow motion. It doesn't have the massive confidence. In most Westerns, the hero is outmanned and outgunned. So we do see a sense of vulnerability in the typical Western hero shot. Now, Westerns will use the classic Michael Bay hero shot in an intense action scene, and I think it looks really good because you got the tight focal length and the dramatic turn. So those are my Western shot tips. Of course, all of this is subjective and certainly could be used in non-Westerns. This is just my opinion and tricks that I think worked for me. That's all I have for today. I'd love to hear about your favorite Western shot, so please feel free to educate me in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's bad humor and below average cinematography tips, welcome. Pull up a chair.